Okay, so yeah, so conditional set we have seen. So where we can apply the conditional sets and all, where we can enter the values. Based on that, we can give greater than, less than, or equal to conditions. And top set we have already seen. We have created top pi and bottom pi using parameters, using calculations. So we have seen that. And now let's see how to create bins in Tableau. So I will just show you how to create bins in Tableau. So we have also seen this thing, but let me show you it again. So I'll take an example of sales. Okay, so sales is here and go to analysis. So it is summation of all the values in the data. So if you see, these are your exact values. In each and every row, you have 16, 3, $11 to $72. So all this summation of the entire column, you're getting as 23,26,534. Okay, so if I don't do this aggregation, so basically it is doing sum aggregation, it is using sum. So if I don't do aggregation, so if you want to remove the aggregation, go to analysis and click on this aggregate measures. So it will show you whatever the values it is there in the data. Okay, so these are the values which is individual values that you can see. Okay, so these are the individual values and I want to group it together. So before I do this, let me change it to aggregate measure. Okay, so whichever is there in, I'll sort it. Yeah, so I want to make a group. Whichever is in 0 to 100, I want to make a group. Whichever is 100 to 200, I want to make a group. And I want to know the number of customers. So this we have already, like I have shown you one example. Okay. Movie and rating. Some movies like this. I'll enter some movies are like this. Okay. And I have rating for triple R, which is out of 10, I have 10. BB 9, 8, and 7, 8, 6, 5, 5. So bin is nothing but grouping it based on the, so I want to group these ratings. So let's say I want to create a bin with a size of 2. Okay. So 0 to 2, one size. So my size is like 0 to 2, 3 to 5, 3 to 5, 6 to 9, like this. And last one is 10. Okay. So how many movies are there in the range of 0 to 2? Suganya, can you tell me? How many movies have a rating of 0 to 2 in between? Yeah. Ravi, can you tell me how many movies are in between 3 to 5? 2 movies. Yeah, Lakshmi, can you tell me how many movies are in between 6 to 9? Yeah, all these are between 6 to 9 only, right? These are in the range of 6 to 9. So which is 5. Preet, can you tell me how many number of movies are having 10 rating? Yeah. So with that, we have covered all the movies. 8 movies are there. So bin is nothing but making a grouping for this rating. So I'm just making a group for the rating column. In the same way, even in the data, so that is a column which has only 8 or 9 rows. But in our case, we have 10,000 rows for this sales column. So even that sales column also we can group it. So how we will group it? Just right click on that, go to create, click on bins. Okay, Tableau is automatically suggesting you to use 446 size as a bin, but I will use 500 as a size and say okay. Okay, so you will get this one. So you see 0, 500,000. This means 0 to 499, it has made a group. 500 to 999, it made a group. 1000 to 1499, it made a group. So now I want to know number of customers who are in the range of this one. So in Excel, we have seen. So in Excel, we have seen number of movies in the range of this bin, in the range of this rating. So in the same way, the number of customers we are going to see in the range of 0 to 500, 0 to 499, 500 to 999, 1000 to 1499, like this. So now I will take customer name and put it here. And make it round distinct. I'll rotate. So there are customers who made 0 to $499. There are 797 customers. So with that, we can identify people are mostly buying in the range of 0 to $499. So that we can decide. And there is only one person who is making 13,500 of sales. So this is nothing but a histogram chart. Any questions? Yeah, please. Uh, Groups and bins are different. I'll tell you. So let me show you. I'll take same example. Right click on this. Create group. So group, you can manually group it. You select this. You need to manually group it. Here you can enter like this. Or you can do the same thing also. But ungroup. So, but you need to do manually. Here you will see individual values. So if you see 0 to 499, so automatically you get every time 500 difference is there. So this is grouping automatically. But if you want to do a group, so you need to do manually select the values between 0 to 500 and make it a group as 0 to 500 and 500 to 1000 you need to make a group. So bins and groups are both are same, but the application wise it is different. So mainly we use groups for dimensions, not for measures. So I'll show you for dimension. So create group. Okay. Let's say whoever's name starts with A, I want to group it together. Right click on this, starts with A. Okay, and rest all I will make it as include other. So rest all will be in other group. Now I will show you how this group is made. So customer name is normal. So I have made whosoever name starts with A, I made a separate group, and rest all will be in the others group. So I'll take this group which I have created just now. Yeah. So whichever starts with A, I have considered it as starts with A and rest all as other. So groups we mainly use it for dimension. And this is an interview question. So they might ask you like, can you use groups in measures and dimensions? Yes, we can use groups for measures also. Measures also we can use, and dimension also we can use. But for measures, we mostly prefer bins. So groups, we mostly prefer dimensions. And we can't do bins. Bins is only possible for measures. So when you when you in interview, if you get a question like this, can we use bins for dimensions? Then you can say directly you can't use bins for dimensions. So even if you click on this, let's say right click on this, go to create. Here you see bins option. Only on measures you can see that option, bins option. And if you go select right click on this, go to create. Here you will not see any bins because we can't create bins on dimensions. Basically, what we are trying to do is we want to group the measure values 0 to 2, 0, 3 to 5, 6 to 9. So that grouping you can do only for measures. That type of grouping is not possible in dimensions. So that's why we can't create bins for dimensions. Okay. Is your question answered, Preet? Ah, okay, so that's how we can create bins. Okay, so this is the process to create bins, and we can set up the size of the bin on how to uh, set up the bins and all. And Tableau will also show you the minimum value which is there in the data source. So the minimum value for sales, it has $0, and the maximum value it has is $22,638. So that you can decide how much size you want to keep. So in our case, so if you see in our case, we have only values from 1 to 10. So I can keep only a size of 2 or 3 like that. I can't keep a size of 100 or 200. So based on our data, we should decide how much size we need to keep. So in our case, we have the values, the maximum value which I has is 22,000. So then I can put in hundreds, like I can put 100 or 500 like that. So that depends on our requirement. Okay, so by using bins, we can create a histogram chart. So the importance of histogram chart is we will be able to know the frequency of the momentum in that particular range. So in 0 to 500, how many number of customers are preferred to buy the, like, with this we can identify. So there are most of the customers, they prefer to buy in the range of 0 to $499. So that we can identify. So that's about bins. Okay. So how to group your data? So now we will discuss about grouping. So right click on this, create group. Okay, now we'll see what all options that are available. So grouping, you need to select manually. So select list of some items that you want to do and right click on that. and click on group. So you can name the group whatever you want to. List of people, or you can say interested or something like this. Okay, and others, select other group. So I have created one group and I'll select other names and moderate. Okay. Okay, so if I want to add, I'll select this. I can add it to the existing groupings that I have created already. So I have created two names, which is interested, and then the second set of group is moderate. So I can add it to the those two groups if I want to, or if I want to add to new group, I can create a new group. So not interested, something like this. So it's like creating groups in our WhatsApp. So you select some set of people and you make a group. So like this, you can select the names and make a group. And I have selected set of people. And still there are some other names. Okay. I don't want to give any name to that other people. So you can say include other option in the bottom. So if I click on this, all those names will go into the other group. So you see a group is created which is other. So all those names will go into other group. So that's how we can create a group and say okay. Mhm. Mm. One person want to. Mm. Yeah, we can remove from the group, or we can directly add it to another group. So interested person, we can throw it to not interested. So he went to not interested list. So all the options will be there. Yeah. You can just remove. If you remove, it will go to others. It will go to others. And yeah, when you say ungroup, everything will be ungrouped. So click on this group, not interested group, say ungroup. So not interested will be removed and it will be moved to other group. We want to remove, or else we can again select. You can select some of the people from this and create a new group as well. Yeah, so this is how we can create groups. So this is one way of creating the groups. So you can go here and create groups and select the values and all, and you can right click and create a group, and you can name it whatever you want to, and you can include other if you don't want to name anything for the rest of the people. You can click on include other. Otherwise, you can name for the groups as well. All the names you can create a group. Okay, so I will show you will be another way to create groups. Okay, so you can just manually select here and right click and you can click on group. So here also a new group will be created. So whatever you selected will be in one group and the rest will be in others group. So a new group is created here. Okay. So as we are creating it from here, it will assign some random name. Random name, how it will create is it will take from the names that we have selected. So it will take from the names that we have selected. So if you want, you can rename it. Random selection, you can say. Say okay. Okay, let's okay, group two. Yeah, random selection. So that we can directly select and we can make groups as well. So if you are creating it from here, it will give you some random name and you can go again back to the set and you can write whatever name that you want to write here. So that's how we can create groups on dimensions. And I will tell you one more way to create groups using calculation fields. So I'll write if customer name, or you can say starts with customer name. If it starts with A, equal to 2, then uh, then I want to show it as starts with A. So here also I'm doing a grouping. Else if, else others. So here I'm writing a condition. So whichever starts with A, so I want to group it as starts with A, else I want to show others. So grouping by calculation. Say okay. Okay. So whichever is starting with A, so those will come in that group. Whichever is not starting with A, that will be in others group. So we can do calculation also. So for calculation, you need to write some coding. But to create, so if you use the concept that we have here, so you can use this option. So this option also, you need to create manually. So you need to select manually whatever names you want to select. So here you need to manually select the names, whichever starts with A. You can't put the condition, but in calculation, you can write some condition. Likewise, in calculation, you can do multiple things, group by calc. Not only this, in calculation, you can use all the string calculations which are there. So in calculation, you will have a lot of options, but in groups, you will have only, so you need to select manually. So that is about groups. So grouping our data. So now I'll show you how to group measures as well. So let's take an example of sale. Right click on sales, go to create. So we can also do groups for uh, measures, but it is very manual that you need to select each and every value. So you have a starting value of $0.44 and you have $22,638. So, but I want to make within the range of 0 to 500, I want to make. So you need to manually select 0 to 500 values. So which will be a tedious task. So instead of that, you can make use of bins. But we can say there is an option. So in case of this small one, right? In case of, we have taken this one. So in case of this one, we can directly select these two values and create a group of 9 to 10 and these two values and make a 7 to 8. Like that, we can make a group in grouping manually. But in case of 10,000 rows and all, doing a group will be difficult for measures. but still we have an option to do groups. So I'll just show you how to do it. Right click, group. So select the values and right click on this, and I want to mention it as 0 to 2. Okay, say okay. So sales group. So so make it display. Yeah. So 0 to 2, $200 of sales is there. So rest all are these values. So rest all are not getting grouped. So individual values it is showing. The individual value is showing. So it's not doing any group. And you can make that group as others. So edit group. So rest you can include it in others group. Say okay. Okay, so 0 to dollars, you have $200 of sale, and 3 to $23,000 dollars, you have this much amount of sales. So in that way, we can apply groups in measures as well. Yeah, so we have to manually select the values to group it. Okay, so now we will see about reference lines. So before going to reference lines, I'll just take a pause. So, okay. Ravi, can you tell me what is the difference between bins and groups? Yeah, correct. Mostly bits can be doable on measures. Groups can be doable on dimensions and measure. Yeah, but mostly preferable for dimensions. Yeah. Okay. Lakshmi, can you tell me about sets? Okay. Suganya, can you tell me about sets? Yeah, correct. Set is a subset of whole data, and we can put some conditions based on the dimension and measure. Okay, so now we'll continue to the reference lines. Okay, so now we will see how to create reference lines in Tableau. Subs లేదు subset అంటే, so let's say you have this entire data. So if I am taking only this part, so this becomes subset. దాంట్లో నుంచి కొంత part, ఒక small piece from it. Okay, so yeah, to create a reference line, we need to have access. So now we'll see how we can get an access. So take one example. So if you create bar chart or line chart, so you'll get access like this. I will take a subcategory. Okay, so for each and every subcategory, there is a different value, and I will show labels on each and every value. So now I'll create, before putting subcategory, I'll put category also in the picture. Okay. So when you put two dimensions, so one more box will be created. So with that, you can identify. So this entire thing is called a table. So there are names in, so I'll just take, Okay. So this entire thing is called table. So the entire thing is table, and each and every individual boxes that are created for each and every category. All these are subcategories. This one, all these are subcategories. But there is a box created for each and every category. Okay. So there is a box created for each and every category. So these are called as pane. All these called as panes. And each and every category, subcategory which is there. So this is called as cell. Each and every bar is a cell. Okay. So each and so this will be English copy. Okay. So every cell, every bar is a cell. So this entire table and these are panes and this is cell. So I will tell you why am I explaining this. So for reference line, we will use this concept. So this is so we you need to know these things to understand about reference lines. So now we will see. So right click on this, add reference line. Okay. So I will tell you about one by one. So sum of sales, average. So I'll do first of all entire table. So table means we know that is for entire table. So sum of sales, average. So average, how it is calculating? So it will take the total of sales, which is some around 23 lakhs of sales that we have. That will be divided by 17 marks. So there are 17 categories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So there are 17 different subcategories. So whenever you calculate average, so it will do sum up for all the subcategories divided by the number of subcategories. So which will be 17. So here you can see a line that is the average. So you can see. So right click on this, edit reference line. So that is the average. So basically now it is showing you average as the computation. So I want to see the value. So $136,000 is the average for all the table values, which is the total divided by 17. So this is doing for the entire table. Now let me do it for pane. So if I change this to pane, per pane. So per pane means it will do for each and every category. For furniture, for office supplies. So the average will change. So let me click on per pane. Yeah. So for each and every category, for furniture, you have a different average. For office supplies, you have a different average. For technology, you have a different average. So now let's calculate average with a calculator. So I will add 115,361 plus 335,768 plus 95598 plus 208,020. Okay, I got this much of sales, 754,753. Preet, can you tell me how many subcategories are there under furniture category? How many number of subcategories are there in furniture category? Yeah. So now I need to divide it by 4. So if I want to get the average, so I will do sum of all these values and I will divide it by the number of subcategories. So which is 188,688.25. So here it is doing some round up and it is showing you 188,687. So in the same way, it is calculating for office supplies and it is showing you average value. And technology also, it is doing an average and it is showing you per pen. So if you want to see for table also, it is doing the entire table total it is taking and dividing it by 17, 17 subcategories. And when you click on per pen, you will be able to see for each and every category. And when you click on parcel, so parcel is nothing but, so we have seen in the previous, okay, so we have seen, so each and every bar is called parcel. Okay, so when you're calculating each and average for each and every cell, so it will be same as the other one. I mean, same as the actual value. So 115361 divided by 1, which you will get 115361 again. So you don't do average for per cell. So we don't use it much for per cell. We might be using per pen or per entire table. So that's about calculating by entire table and by pane. And not only average as an aggregation, we can use different aggregations. We can use maximum, we can use minimum, or you can manually enter some value. So instead of doing average or something like that, for $200,000, I want to see a reference line. So if you see, there is a line which is at 200K, 200,000. So $200,000, I want to see a reference line. So you can manually enter. So for that, what you need to do, you need to click on constant. Or if you want to do sum per pane in the sense, so it is calculating per pane, whatever is the total. So it is adding up all the individual subcategory values and it is creating a reference line for that particular category. So this is your pane. It is calculating for that pane, whatever is the total. For office supplies also, it is doing the same. So if you do it for per table, so at the entire table, what is the total? 23 lakhs 26,534 is the total. So that way we can make use of sum or total. Sum or total, in this case, it gives you the same value. So let's put average for the sake of discussion. Okay. So on top of this, uh, yeah. Mhm. Which one? Which, sorry, can you repeat again? 136,800. Okay. Let me do it per pen. This is the average per pen. Mm-hmm. It is sum of sales only. Total sales. We can. So this is average. This is average of all the values. Hmm. Automatically it will increase. So if any one value increases, it will automatically increase. This value will also increase. Yes, correct. Only when you are putting constant value, it will not increase or decrease. So there is an option to enter value, right? So here I'm manually entering. So this value won't change. Every time it will be 200,000 only. So if you are referring any column, then it will. So I'm referring sum of sales value, right? So in the back end, the sales value changes, then it will automatically change. Yeah. Okay. Is it clear? Yeah. Okay. So that's how we can make use of reference line and edit reference line. Okay. So not only that, so we can, after doing this, if you want to fill above or below, let's say you can design the line how you want to see. You can make some colors. So you can see the color is getting changed and you can thicken the border like this. Or you want to see show a dotted line and all. Also we can do. So this is possible, like whatever, however you want to show. And if you want to color it, okay, if you want to fill above and below, above you want to show one color and below you want to show one color, that is also possible. So above, let's say you want to make it green, below you can make it some red or something like that. Okay, so that whichever is above average line, that will be good. Whichever is below average line, that will be bad. So that some kind of relationship that we can show. And let's go to band. Okay, so in line we have given only one option. In band we can give upper limit and lower limit. So we can specify maximum level and minimum level. So there will be upper limit and there will be a lower limit. Let me show by putting constant value. Okay, so it starts from 100,000 and 200,000. Okay, so you can see that difference. Like you want to see which subcategories are in the range of that band. So that also we can identify. Say edit reference line, and you can see the band like however you want to. So instead of that, if you want to put sum and all, so that also we can keep. So for understanding purpose, I made this as constant. So this is the starting point. Band from is nothing but the starting point. Band 2 is nothing but the ending point. So here also we have same options. We can select min, max, average, median, total, all these things. And line you can specify how you want to see it. And you can fill also whatever color you want to see in that band. So that can be doable. And distribution is the mathematical or analytical calculation that it will do. So it will calculate 60% and 80% of the total, or you can specify the value. So if I enter manual value, like 2 lakh, it will take the 60% of 2 lakh and 80% of 2 lakh, and it will create a band. Or if I'm entering 3 lakhs. Okay, 60% of 3 lakhs is which is 1,80,000. 80% of 3 lakhs, which is 2,40,000. For that, it will create a band. So if you want to show value or if you want to show computation, so it will show you 80% of 3 lakh like that. So other than that, you have analytical terminologies here where you can do percentiles, quantiles, standard deviation. So all these are analytical uh, functions which are there, we can use that. And this is normal 60% or 80% of sales. So instead of sum of sales, you can manually enter values like this. And the other one is box plot. So I'll just show you how to create a box plot. Go here, take sales and take subcategory. And click on here. So this is called as box and whisker plot. Okay. So whatever is in this range, that means it's a normal range basically. And these are outliers. So when I say outliers, all these are outliers. So I'll tell you what are outliers. Let's go to one Excel file. Okay, so let me go to an Excel file. Okay, so here we have seen. Okay, so we have ratings from 5 to 10. So outliers is nothing but all of a sudden you have some 1. Okay, 1 rating. That means there is a deep down all of a sudden. So that will be shown as an outlier. So if you go to the Tableau, if you go to Tableau, so these are all outliers which have more values like $333,000 and all. So whatever is there in this box, 189,000, 46,000 to 189,000. There are most of the values are in between 189,000, 46,000 to 207,000. And these are like more than the mid range. So whatever values in which are in this band, so those are mid range, and these are which are having high values all of a sudden, and these are the low values all of a sudden. So by using box and whisker plot, we can find the outliers. So outliers can be spike all of a sudden or low all of a sudden. So those will be highlighted. So here you see whichever is in normal range, mid range. So those will be in one grouping together, and outliers are grouped together. So in that way, we can identify the difference. Okay, so that's how we can make reference lines. So I'll just take a pause here. So with that, we have completed Tableau session 16. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask. Okay, band, okay. Okay, so right click on edit reference line. So earlier in line, what we had is only one line we used to see. Okay, so one line. So where we are specifying only one average value. Based on that, let's say if you're entering constant value, it is showing you only in that range, only whichever is above or below. Band is nothing but one range we can select. So you can select, so 200,000 is the starting point, 300,000 ending point. Okay, so it will create a band. So 200 to 300, it created a band. So you can see the subcategories which are in the range of 200 and 300,000. Yeah. So here also we have same options, entire table per cell, per pane and all. So this will work when you do average. Okay. So per pane average is different. Let's take, sorry, I'll take maximum. Here I will take minimum. Okay. Show it here. So what is the minimum value here? 95,000 is the minimum value, right? From these four values, what is the minimum value? 95,000. Ravi, can you tell me what is the maximum value in these four subcategories? Chase 335,760. So yeah, in the band that will be the uh, other point. So I'll show you. So it is showing you the computation now. So instead of computation, you put the num value. So there it will show you value. So it is taking minimum value, which is furnishings value 95,598 as the starting point, and the ending point of that band is maximum value, which is 335,768. So in that way, for each and every category, it will find the minimum value and maximum value. Here also it is calculating minimum and maximum. Clear? Okay. So distribution is also similar. It will also create a band, but here it uses mathematical computations, 60% and 80%. You can give the percentages, or you can specify 10%, 20%. That based on the value, it will compute. And in line, we can fill above and below. Yeah. Okay. So, Ravi, can you tell me how to create a reference line? Okay. Yeah. First, we need to add, then yeah, add reference line. Yeah. Hmm. Correct. Okay. So that's about today's session. So we'll continue in the tomorrow session. Yeah. Thank you all for joining.